Hello everyone, it's me again. And today we're following a guy to a beautiful beach in Mexico. Not only will we admire the stunning scenery, but we'll also take part in a fun and exciting activity. Fishing. Let's begin the adventure.
Cloudy. Those little rain slugs are catching some amazing species.
Jamie!
After a few hours of flying, he, along with his family and friends, arrived at a hotel in Mexico.
And we've never, ever had a street power about an hour ago.
Why would you fly directly into a hurricane?
Early the next morning, he bought some small fish to use as bait and set out.
Buenos, a snapper, a dolphin.
He opened a container with small fish, prepared them as bait for the day, hooked one through its back, and cast his line into the sea to start fishing.
Catch marlin on, bonitas, especially when something like a marlin eats it.
This is his wife. Today, she also wanted to try fishing in this beautiful place. While she was busy reeling in a fish, she was surprised to see another fish jump out of the water in the distance. The husband realized this spot was teeming with fish, so he quickly prepared his bait and cast his line into the sea. After some time reeling, the wife managed to pull a fish to shore. A friend used a hook to lift the fish out of the water. She proudly held the fish in her hands, full of joy. They moved on to another location. During the trip, the husband made himself a bottle of Athletic Greens AG1, a daily comprehensive nutritional supplement from a 360G pack to take along.
Especially with these little travel packs. Here's the scoop, guys. AG sources because AG1 has me.
At the back of the boat, the wife continued reeling in another fish. After some effort, the fish's silhouette became visible beneath the water.
Right here. Jamie, are you going to keep it or let it go?
Mahi, and today catching this, I can still feel.
The husband quickly helped pull the fish onto the boat. It looked similar to the previous one, but was slightly smaller. This time, it was the husband's turn. A fish bit his bait and he steadily began reeling it in.
They're pretty much found worldwide, and every single size fish is just so much bigger than
He
us.
reeled, lifted, and lowered the rod skillfully, allowing the fish to swim to tire it out.
The entire week, it hasn't been literally got one bait in the water.
When the moment was right, he carefully pulled the fish closer to the boat. At this point, its shadow appeared under the water, showing a greenish color with hints of yellow.
You might have.
The fish approached the boat and dove under its bottom, tangling the fishing line.
No. It's out.
Quickly, the fish swam out from under the boat. A friend nearby was ready with a large hook. With one precise motion, the fish was lifted onto the boat amidst cheers and excitement from the group.
Jamie!
Yeah!
Go!
Holy cow!
I'm not sure what kind of fish this is, but it weighed about 20 kilograms. Do you know what it is? Let me know in the comments below.
Net, such a unique coloration. Spotted. They roam literally everywhere. Aggressive, eating machines. Hard fight.
A little while later, the girl in the green shirt also joined the fun, catching a fish for herself. It looked like the same type as before. If you know its name, let me know in the comments.
Wow! Look at that, Olga. Barely hooked. On Mahi in Mexico, because we got a 50-pound.
The husband began showcasing his skills, hooking a small fish onto the line as bait and casting it into the sea. Now came the moment to reel in with all his strength. What kind of fish could it be this time?
This is the man.
What are we doing? You have him in the mouth?
Yes, Jamie. He's hooked good. Holy moly.
Amazing. A red fish with sharp teeth came out of the water. He later released it back into the sea.
So, fish is probably right around.
After wrapping up the fishing trip, he returned to the hotel. On the way back, he filleted the fish so it could be cooked as soon as they got home. The meat looked so rich and delicious.
It's actually really easy. The only two things.
Next, let me introduce you to an uncle who is passionate about fishing. Let's see what's special about him.
Airbnb right here. There's our Tahoe, our rental. You come here and go catfishing with him.
First, he and a friend went deer hunting to try out what venison tastes like.
And save it. I don't know what happened. Deer hunted a little bit yesterday, saw a couple.
Without making a sound, his friend took down a deer. Now they're bringing it back to prepare for cooking. However, he struggled for quite some time just to open the door. Looking at the deer they hunted, its antlers were truly beautiful. Now, what kind of dish will this deer become?
Just have no idea what old CJ put us on this morning. Y'all already know I got my Dankos. If you need a good...
The next day, the uncle and his friend brought their boat to a riverbank to start an exciting fishing trip.
My new trailer's got these straps, and I forget them on there about half the time. And
This time it wasn't just the uncle fishing. His kids also joined in to experience the adventure.
We don't have to throw the cast net, get wet, have to hunt them down.
Now tell us what this...
Before heading out, his friend offered him something that looked like beef jerky to snack on.
Banana jerky.
Deer jerky.
I'm gonna try some.
They ventured further into the river. After a while, the uncle pointed to a spot he believed would be teeming with fish. They stopped, prepared their fishing rods and bait, and cast their lines around the boat.
Serious doohickey fishermen in the world. They got doohickeys forever. What else you got in there? Tipatilia?
Not long after, the friend's wife noticed a fish biting her line. Since it was her first time doing this, she was quite clumsy. What an unexpected experience.
He's gonna have a lot of fight left in him.
Oh yeah, let's...
After some effort reeling it in, she managed to bring the fish close to the boat. It was quickly brought aboard and everyone waited to see how heavy it was. Can you guess its weight? Leave a comment.
Big ones grab a hold and start spinning. No bueno.
With his vast experience, the uncle cast his line with precision and expertise.
And you like colorful, crazy socks, they have every kind.
On the next
that a
bite, they let the young boy have a go at catching the fish. As soon as the signal came, the boy worked hard to reel in the fish and held the rod firmly to tire it out.
Oh, that's a good one.
The fish was reeled in repeatedly, gradually drawing closer to the boat. The uncle had a large net ready. Let's see if they could catch it.
Is it a gunday? How do you say a 50-pounder all day long?
The giant fish was brought onto the boat. It was enormous. They continued their fishing trip, catching several smaller fish along the way. When they got back to shore, they used a hand scale to check the weight of the big fish the boy had caught. It weighed a staggering 60 kilograms, and its length was quite impressive.
All right, time to measure this ginormous fish. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Long. I'm going off of this line right here.
Finally, the big fish was released back into the river. The rushing water seemed to welcome its return. It all ended with a meaningful and peaceful moment.
Falcon Lake record. Duck hunting. And I told you earlier, Christmas catfish boat. Ram also has a duck hunting boat.
We'll continue the video by following two young men fishing on a river as they encounter a giant fish biting their bait. They started by using a fish head as bait, hooking it onto the fishing line. The black guy cast it into the river with a strong throw that landed right in the middle of the stream. While he set up the fishing rod and left his friend to watch over the two rods, a fish bit his line. His friend had to call him back to reel it in. At this point, both rods had fish biting.
Everybody, blue game.
They reeled continuously to bring the fish closer to the shore. As the fish neared the bank and began thrashing wildly,
I see my man landing two fish at one time.
The black guy quickly tied a rope around the fish's neck and pulled it ashore. Meanwhile, his friend was still struggling with the other fish.
Come here. Oh my goodness. Oh.
When the second fish was pulled closer to the shore, the friend rushed toward it from afar. However, he slipped and fell, landing hard on his backside. As he approached, the creature's long snout became visible. Was it a crocodile? Despite this, he stayed calm in the face of it.
There's no way I'm gonna be able to pick my footstep. Look at this, bigger than me. What?
He grabbed the line and pulled it back with his hands. Once again, the creature's terrifyingly long snout appeared.
Knew he was gonna be big. I didn't think he was gonna be on the intro.
Slowly, he lifted the fish onto the shore. It had a large, round body, a long snout, and unique scales. Do you know what kind of fish this is? After wrestling with the fish, he sat beside it, breathing heavily but clearly elated with his success.
Alright, you got that in.
He then tied a rope around the fish's head and gently lowered it back into the water to measure its size.
And do this with him.
After determining the fish's size, the two of them lifted it out of the water together and took a memorable photo with it.
Go out there, brother. Oh yeah, we got a guard. Y'all are wondering.
After releasing the larger fish back into the wild, they realized there was nothing left to cook. Undeterred, they patiently baited their hooks and continued fishing, hoping for a new catch.
Whoa, whoa. This might be it. Keep the attention.
Shortly after, one of them reeled in another fish, smaller than the previous one. Just as they lifted it up, before doing anything with it, the fish suddenly thrashed violently, slipped off the hook, and darted back into the water, disappearing in an instant.
Here's our rig. Just to 2 J-hooks, just like what I caught the fish on in the Autumn Haul. That's actually, what's the craziest thing you've ever caught in this water?
Finally, they decided to untie the rope and release the fish back into the wild. This species needs to be preserved as its population is quite limited. This fishing trip concludes today's video. The two guys were very lucky on this journey. If you caught a fish like this, would you keep it for food? Let me know in the comments below. If you love heartfelt stories and exciting adventures, don't forget to hit the subscribe button to never miss any new videos from us. Your support is a huge motivation for our work.